but the only language that we might speak is sex, or that might just be the easiest thing. But after a certain time, that gets a little boring, and that's just the truth. And so I look forward to when I'm in my 40s and the different things that I'm able to see and those things. But one thing I do know is that there has to be something more than just sex. You know, whether you're going to use toys and whether you're going to use, different gels and different things like that. Those are all things you should incorporate. But always look at everything as it being progressive, so that you can open up a line of communication, because we want somebody to talk to us. We want to be talked to. We want to be romanced. We want to be held. We want to be just swept off our feet. Those things are possible. We don't have to wait for a white knight in shining armor. We don't have to. It can be right there with the person we're with, but you have to create that in them. That's how you get what you want.
I have some questions. How can a person introduce toys to their mate? If ones that's kind of like controlling and just downright don't even think about bringing this, kind of stuff. How can and you want to kind of like do like a pickup, because sometimes they get bored and stuff like that, and they just kind of like want to enhance their relationship. So how can they introduce something without them feeling that, this is going to replace me? Because toys is not a replacement.
It's not. It's an enhancement.
So how can someone kind of like introduce it for their mate?
Well,
without them feeling kind of like,
like they're going to be replaced, or like they're not satisfying their partner. Well, the different things that we talked about, definitely setting the atmosphere is so important. Because it's just like you have to, if you know your mate likes to eat, but you need to have a conversation with them, you need to cook before you talk with them. The same thing, if you want to use toys because you want to enhance it because the love maker is so good, but you just want a little something extra, touch is important, especially dealing with the shoulders. Whenever you touch your partner on the shoulders, like from the back or even the front right here, and just press a little bit, and you say, I had an idea. Let's try this. It works. It works. And I mean, I've talked to the most sophisticated people, and then I've talked to doctors who've done this, and they all agree. The touch is important. I want to introduce something. What do you think about this? Or last night when we were together, that was so good. I want to try it with an edible body gel. What you think? That's how you do it. It's very easy. It doesn't have to be anything where, at 7 o'clock we're going to talk about it. That's how you introduce it. But you always want to stroke their ego when you're trying to introduce something. Okay? And you do it exactly like that. Set the atmosphere. Make it comfortable. Don't say, well, I just want to have a toy. Can we, now be careful too if you're going to try dildos and different things like that. Now that's something where they could be sometimes a little offended. And the way that you deal with that is say, you know what? It only enhances us. If that's your choice, if that's something that you want to do, it's going to enhance us. I enjoy being with you. You have to be verbal and expressive, especially when you have someone who might be insecure or have issues in that area where they don't like toys or they're very uncomfortable. That's how you introduce it. That's how I've seen it from that perspective. Being a hard person to talk to, not wanting to try anything, thinking it's nasty and dirty. It's like it's you and I. Which is you and I. This is our bedroom, our intimate life, and I want to please you. I want to use this edible, or I want you to use this on me. Let's learn together. But then that opens up the line of communication too, and it opens it up like that. And once you have open communication, that releases us. Because we hold on to so much, even when we're being sexual, because those different needs of ours are not being met. When you think about that, if your needs are not being met, I'm talking about past the orgasm. Because it has to be so much more fulfillment. If this is something that you want, which I highly recommend, the intimate ingredient. I do recommend it because those are things that enhance love, make it enhance your relationship. And it's just not about sex. You definitely want to have that conversation. But don't be afraid about it. Don't be afraid about it. I mean, does everybody understand what I'm saying when I say that? About not being afraid to talk to your mate or to talk to them about introducing toys and introducing new things? If you've never been a person who would touch before or allow yourself to be touched, just say, I want to try something new. there is honey powder, or we have something, I want to dust you with something. Now, is that particular one edible?
Yes.
Now you say I want to dust you with something. It's best when cold as well. If you put in a refrigerator, if my memory serves me correctly, and you dust it on the body, and you do whatever you're going to do with it, it feels good, but also it's a really awesome sensation that they might like. It's something good to introduce because you're dusting something cold on the body.
Because you do want to be careful what you use, because if they kissing you on that area, you know, I don't want to taste no perfume in my mouth, you know.
Exactly. Well, we be careful about, you know, the perfumes. Always use them on pulse points.
Yes.
Keep perfumes away from the private areas, from the vaginal areas. Never put any perfume there, ever. Because if you have to mask something, there's something wrong there. You want to use an essential oil and just a little dot if you just want a scent there, just on each area, but that's it. If you're going to use a powder in that area, you're going to use it on the inside of the thighs, never on the crotch, because it can cause the incubation of yeast, and then you'll start having, you know, the vaginal problems with your vagina.
And that's the butt cheeks.
Essential oil. Just put a little dot in right in the middle of the butt cheeks. Do not put any perfume there because it has alcohol in it. You know, and then you might smell good, but you will burn. And that's the truth. You know, but that's the other thing. Now, say a long day at work, haven't even been able to take a shower. You have an essential oil on, or if you're going to use a perfume, you're going to just use a little bit of perfume in those areas I told you. Always your pulse points, okay? Here, and behind your legs. All day, you're good. Because if you don't have time to get to the shower, or that person just swept you off your feet when you walked in the door, you're still good. Okay? And you don't have to worry about, you know, this has been a long one. No. Don't mess the mood up, because it might have been a minute for y'all. Okay? But you know what? I got it all covered. You know, but recapping again, stay away from perfumes in that area and powder. Never put powder on your vagina. The other thing, when you shave, if you itch, I don't know if anybody has ever dealt with this, but I dealt with this. I shaved, and I didn't use my cold towel, and I was itching. I was itching so bad. The way that you get rid of that is you want to put just a little bit of lotion, cold lotion, baby lotion, or even one of the coochie products that you have, and just put it on that area. It'll soothe it. Like that. Very important, because you don't have a disease. You're just itching because your hair is growing back. Okay? So can you imagine, you know, being at work and you know you got that, you know, and so you want to use something, and it's important, if you do use lotions in that area, don't use anything that has something called carbomer, CARBOMER in it. Anything that has a lot of alcohol in it is very important because it's going to dry you out. You want to use things that have like a jojoba oil, sunflower oil. Those are very important. Flaxseed oil is good. Very good. One of the interesting things about the candles that intimate ingredient has, I like how soft they leave my skin. Now, I use all natural products, but I like the candles because they're warm and they leave your skin nice and soft. Case in point, important, it keeps you soft. We like to be touched. Nobody wants to touch anything that's all rough, hard, and flaking. You know, that's the truth. You know, and then, you know, you think if you just put lotion on that, okay, I'm going to be soft. You got to make sure after you take your shower, you pat your body dry, and then you put your lotion on. Never rub your body, ever. Always pat it dry, then put your lotion on. Okay, if you want to use a lotion and oil combination, that's fine. But the candles work because they were heated, and I like the way that they go on and the scent lasts because of the essential blends in the candles. Very important to keep you soft. Any questions?
I have a question.
All right.
Back to what you were saying, that we like for the men to talk to us. What if he talk too much?
That's a very good point. Now, okay.
You know, I try to put it in a nice way, just be quiet.
Yeah.
But that don't always work.
Okay. how's your? Are you setting the atmosphere? Are you have candles going? Do you have that?
I don't do that. He do all that.
Okay. Now, what's important it is that you have to take control of the environment. Very important. Now, if he's a romantic brother, perfect. But you commend him on doing that, and you begin to take control of the environment without making him feel like you don't appreciate him. Okay? Maybe you might want to move the candles a little bit. Do more touching. Now, the shoulders, definitely, say, I like when you touch me, or I like to hear you moan. I like when you talk, but I like